One. Hello, once again, everyone. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends, brought to you by the Rockstar Chronicles. My new book featuring over 45 intimate conversations with the greatest music legends the world will ever know. It's available now at bookbaby.com and amazon.com. Jim Peterik is a survivor. Those words were prophetically spoken first on the back of his first solo album, Don't Fight the Feeling, back in the 70s. In the decades since, Jim has lived up to that term. Jim's home base has always been the Ides of March, where Jim wrote and sang the evergreen hit Vehicle. The Ides began their journey in 1964 when the Beatles started and continue today as vital touring act featuring all the original members, which is very unusual. In the 70s, Jim combined his love for melody and driving rock with the band Survivor. Their phenomenal rise to the top was born on the back of the amazing songs Jim co-wrote, of course, The Eye of the Tiger. We've had Dave Bickler on the show. From the film Rocky III, has become an indelible classic and garnered Jim Grammy and People's Choice Awards, as well as an Oscar nomination. September 2014, Jim's autobiography, Through the Eyes of the Tiger, was released. The book traces Jim's path from humble beginnings in suburban Chicago to a stellar career as a platinum hit songwriter, successful musician, and in-demand producer. Jim Peterik has always loved a musical challenge and pursuing new ideas. His latest endeavor is with the release of Jim Peterik and World Stage, Tigress Women Who Rock the World. In Jim's words, I discovered that I needed to write songs that reflected the female perspective. I agree with that, more than the male. It was gratifying working with talented women from all over the world and heroes of mine. Tigress, Women Who Rock the World, will officially be released on November 5th by Frontiers Music. Please welcome American musician, singer, songwriter, best known for the founder of the band Survivor, as vocalist and songwriter of Vehicle by the Ides of March, and as co-writer of the anthem Eye of the Tiger, the theme from the 1982 film Rocky III. Jim Peterik to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, Jim.
Hey, Ray. Thank you for the big buildup. We're done here. I mean, what else can I add? But no, that's very, very kind. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a great ride.
Yep.
I am very, very lucky to be doing what I do best and love the most at age 71. I turned 71 November 11th.
Congratulations.
Independence Day. But yeah, it's how many guys and girls have been lucky enough to follow their dream and actually make a living doing it. That's pretty cool. So I never take it for granted at all. You know, I've been asked, well, what's your best song you ever wrote? I said, I haven't written it yet. You know,
Exactly.
You know, if you don't stay hungry, hanging tough, staying hungry, that'll work. I used that line already. But anyway, it's true. You know, you got to stay hungry. And that's a page right out of Eye of the Tiger, hanging tough, staying hungry. But that song, I use that myself for wrote, of course, but so much of that lyric is relevant to me and everyone in the everyday life, because there are so many challenges out there and temptations, and I think that's why that song has resonated. It's got the great beat, you know, the sledgehammer beat. Mark Trubay, he was our John Bonham. He just really, really laid it down. But it's also a message. You know, we didn't realize how profound that message was and how it resonates with so many people struggling to go beyond the boundaries that they think they might have and break through that glass ceiling.
I think it's the best Rocky song, the best theme Rocky song out there.
Wow.
You know,
that's funny. It just reminded me, I was on a panel not more than 4 days ago for a show that's going to air. And it was various people, but one of the interviewees was Carol Connors, who wrote the original Rocky theme.
Yeah.
You know, with Bill Conti.
Right.
And we couldn't have been more admiring of each other, because that song had its place. It was very powerful, and she gave me kudos for Eye of the Tiger. We got along just great. There was a lot of good people on that panel, so it was a lot of fun. That's going to be airing soon.
Oh, good, awesome, Jim. I got to tell you, man, you look great for being in your 70s. You look awesome.
Thank you. It's the purple hair. Yeah. Actually, I was born purple, and my mother kept dyeing it brown.
You were born purple.
Yeah. And then when I got old enough, I said, "Damn it, Mom, I'm going my natural color."
I had Carmine at Peace on recently, and he usually dyed his hair and had a little purple in his hair. He went gray. He's all gray now.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's interesting. You bring him up because, I do this thing every year, Ray, called Jim Peterik and World Stage. And this year it falls on January 15th.
Right.
And I've got the keyboard player from Vanilla Fudge,
Mark Stein.
Mark Stein,
Yeah.
joining me for the first time, along with many other guests like Jennifer Batten, who's on this Tigress album that you'll be talking about, and who else? Kathy Richardson of Jefferson Starship.
Yeah.
All these great gals on Tigress. I'm trying to get as many on stage on January 15th at it's a North Central College. It's a really great historic auditorium here in Chicago.
I got to tell you, man, you're a incredible songwriter, and you wrote all this music on Tigers. Is that right?
Correct. There's some co-writes. Joel Hoekstra, he of the long hair, Maine. He's with Whitesnake, of course, but he was also with Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Right.
And he kind of hooked me up. He was kind of I don't want to say pimp because that would be disrespectful, but hooked me up with a lot of these gals that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Because he's worked with so many in Trans-Siberian and other of his projects. So he hooked me up with, Janet Gardner and, a Vixen. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When I got her, I go, I'm a made man because Janet was one of my very favorite singers when she was with Vixen. With this album, Ray, the challenge was to try to capture them, but it had a little Peterik to it.
Sure.
In my own stamp, but really it's about them. So when I wrote for Janet Gardner, Lazarus Heart, I was concentrating on her history, and she was very moved. She said, "Jim, what do you read in my diary? That's me," and she knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Well, you knocked it out of the park, man. Inspiring lyrics, captivating music, 5 stars all the way. I've got a bunch of favorites on here. Of course, Tigress is one of my favorite, and I like Kate French, and you got some cool guitar intros in a lot of these tracks, man.
Yeah. Well, don't blame me. Jennifer Batten is the guitar heroine. I play some guitar on it, but I really left it to Jennifer for a lot of the fancy stuff. And we do have a couple ringers in there, male interlopers like Joel, but by and large, it's all the singers, all the lead singers are female. A lot of the drummers, bass players, singers, of course, are females. And, you have to write a little bit of a different perspective. I was blessed with 2 older sisters that taught me the ropes of.
Oh, that's where it came from.
That's where it came from. I got used to bras and nylons hanging over the shower rod, and arguments between them, and I was their little pet toy, and they called me Fat Boy. Thanks a lot, sis.
Really?
Yeah, I was a chubby kid,
Yeah.
My mother had a shop in the Husky department of the department store. Husky! Yeah.
Wow. Well, I've got 5 grandkids, 3 are girls, and 2 are identical twins. So, yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
What are the 2 girls, the twins' names?
Macy and Riley.
Oh, my God. Yeah. We have a Maisie.
Amazing, really.
Yeah, she's almost 5 years old. Maisy.
Yeah.
And the boy is Colby.
Colby.
Yep, he's
Yep.
3. And I love it. It's so
Yeah, me
fun.
too.
And at the end of the day, you give them back.
Exactly. There's nothing like
Yeah,
being a grandpa, man.
I love it. It's a good gig.
I think right now your favorite song, your famous song on this album is "Prom Night in Pontiac." I mean, that got a lot of hits on YouTube.
Yes.
And one guy said it, he nailed it. He said, in a perfect world, this song would top the charts. And I agree with that.
Well, it's not a perfect world, unfortunately, but it is making a mark. It's got a ton of hits.
A ton of hits.
It's not even out yet. I mean, as a record, the record, anyway.
Yeah.
It drops on the 5th of November.
Right.
And then the double vinyl on orange vinyl, get it, Tigress, comes out in mid-December. And I've got my turntable fired up and ready to drop that needle, baby. Yep. And hear those wonderful ticks and pops and hisses and
exactly
all that stuff that we used to love.
Yeah. Acapella, Ches Kane, that's another video out there on YouTube. So you got the 2 right now, right? That and Prom Night in Pontiac.
Yep. And the third one's coming, and that's Tigress with Kate.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And now this is really ignorant, but is that second one out yet? Or did that drop yet? Prom Night's out, but did the one with you mentioned it, acapella, is that out?
Acapella, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, acapella's out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks. I'm learning stuff. I have to check that out. Frontiers has been great, and I got to tell you, Serafino wanted another Pride of Line. No, he wanted another World Stage album.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I just did a Toby Pride of Lines album. I love Toby, but how about an all-female World Stage? He goes, thought about it for 3 seconds. Yeah, and he green-lighted it. And man, did I get to work, and I got a few doors politely slammed in my face. I really wanted to get Ann Wilson, who to me is like the greatest female rock singer maybe ever in my book. And she was busy, and then also a few others that I won't mention, but I went deeper. I went deeper, and I realized how much talent there is that aren't necessarily on the echelon of an Ann Wilson, but are equally talented. Like Kate French, for instance, or brave as Leslie Hunt, who I've been mentoring since she was 15 years old, and Mindy Abair, the sax phenom. By the way, I'm going to Tuscany on Sunday.
Oh, cool!
And I'm doing some performing there on a wine junket. Very excited about that, and I'll be playing some of the new songs in concert with Mindy Abair and her the band that she's that will be backing us up that live in Tuscany.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm glad you went deeper with these artists because it brings them to the forefront. And ordinarily, like you said, you're thinking Lita Ford. You're thinking the girls from Heart, that kind of thing. And so I'm glad you did. And especially Sina on drums, because she's got a ton of videos.
Oh my God. She is the sweetest thing. Her dad manages her, so I was in touch with him. Really a sweetheart of a guy, and she's amazing. And I joked with him, I said, well, every time there's a Sina video, it's her on drums, her on tuba, her on xylophone, her on. I said, all I need her for is drums, because that's what I need. And he's, oh, no, it's okay. She'll do that, And she knocked it out of the park, So, and by the way, Mr. Sina, how much does she charge? Oh, nothing.
Really?
No, she does it because she loves it and because she loves artists of your profile because it makes her look better. And I said, sold, thank you.
Yeah. I love it because her age, loves our type of music. You know, she loves classic rock and that kind of thing. So
yeah, true that.
I love that. You know, some of my other favorites. Walk Like Royalty. Oh my God, what a powerful ballad that is. That could be in a Disney movie.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. Well, you're the first person astute enough, if I may stroke your ego, to mention that song.
Oh my God,
I agree.
blown away, man.
It is. You have to have a dramatic streak in the listener, because that's just balls out dramatic.
It
is.
know,
and you said Disney, walk like royalty.
Definitely.
Through the storm. That's the old, that old "you never walk alone" mentality.
Exactly.
Rodgers and Hammerstein. But yeah, thank you.
And Lazara's Heart. To me, that should be in a Bond movie.
Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be. I have a new publisher that is very into placements like that. You know, and you're right.
I'll back it up.
Well, thank you. Would really work for a movie. And I have a kind of a flair for drama. Eye of the Tiger was a perfect format for me, because I got to exercise, just a real menace here. Just boom, 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 boom. And that, we caught lightning in a bottle. What can I say? But you take advantage of the opportunities, and that one really worked.
Incredible, man. Sin to be, believe a lie. Okay, that's a lot of cool lyrics in that. Talk about that track.
Yeah, well, that was a Joel Hoekstra seed. I start somewhere, and Joel is, you know who Joel is, of course. He's great at tracks.
Right.
And he just sent me a blank track, no vocals, no melody, just this incredible guitar riff and progression. And then I got with Kathy, and we wrote the lyric. It's "Sin to Believe a Lie," and she was very instrumental in the lyric of that song. And we played it for Joel, and he goes, "Oh shit, yeah, that My Little Song is now an epic." So I was very happy that he liked it.
Incredible, man. One tune reminded me of Stevie Nicks a little bit. Dear Life.
Oh man, are you smart? You are so
bit.
Freaking smart. Well, Stevie Nicks is the girl that I didn't mention. I said, well, I can't mention her. Well, you just mentioned her, so what the hell? But I really wanted Stevie, and her producer hooked us up, but she was building a house.
Oh, really?
Remodeling a house, and that took all of her energy.
Yeah. And
that's her story, and she's sticking to it. But in the meantime, Lindsay Kent demoed it for Stevie. And man, and she wasn't trying to sound like Stevie, but there's a little Stevie in her voice.
There is.
Yeah. And she ended up singing the master. So one girl's loss is another girl's gain, and I'm really almost glad that she got it, because she is so excited. She's 21 years old, and this is like a big deal.
Yeah. Another epic tune, kind of like Walk Like Royalty, that blew me away. And you finished the album with this song, and that's Brave is Beautiful. Wow.
Oh man, that one puts a lump in my throat.
It puts a lump in my throat, man.
Yeah, I mean, male or female. There's so many gals. I had two sisters, so I can relate to the female experience, but they get taken advantage of. Well, we all do. But I mean, females, if they're not strong, us guys tend to tromp all over them because they can.
Yeah.
And that's what Brave is Beautiful. It's about standing up to your oppressors. It's about forgiving yourself. It's not your fault. Is a big line there. It's not your fault. So many women blame themselves for what happens to them.
Exactly.
And that's not right. If I give a few women a sense of self-esteem and hope through that song, I've done my job. And then what we were trying to do on the outro, where Mindy Abair starts blowing her alto sax, I was thinking, and you can relate to this, Baker Street.
Yeah, Jerry Rafferty.
You know, when I heard that riff, I go, I've got to rip that off. Mm-hmm. not per se, but the mood.
Yeah.
The mood. And of course, she did it. You know, I just was on the phone with her, and we're going to Tuscany on Sunday. And it's her wine tour. Mindy Hebert is a force of nature, and her husband is a wine distributor. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be, you know, lifting a few glasses and playing a lot of music.
Awesome. You know, Brave is beautiful. I'd love to see that as a video, you know?
Right on. Hell yeah.
It's got to be out there. More people have to see that and hear it.
You heard it from Ray. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Such a great song, man.
Thanks, Ray. That's
Well, 5 stars all the way. I love the album. Beautifully written, you know, beautifully sung, you know, great players on this album. I love it.
Oh, man. Well, that makes my day. Did we mention Abigail Stanschmidt on fiddle?
Probably not.
On Brave, on Tigress. She was a discovery through a friend in Nashville who said, "Have you heard Abigail?" I go, no. Well, she's got quite a profile as a solo artist, and she's been with various theatrical productions and stuff. But she was thrilled to be on the record, and what a soul! I mean, you can hear her, you know, trading off with Jennifer Batten, which I think is very cool when you can intertwine a lead guitar with a fiddle, and
yeah, exactly.
Really special.
And of course, it's Niall Brosh played guitar on Walk Like Royalty.
Yeah, it's Nilly, but yeah.
Oh, Nilly. It looks like Niall. Man.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's Nilly. It is Nilly. Yeah. You know, so much talent, you know, that I get to work with. And you can say, yeah, it's sharing files, but at the end of the day, you know, if it's done right with a great engineer like Larry, you don't really you don't realize the space between people. You're all in one room jamming, and even though you're not, it's, as Dennis DeYoung often says, it's a grand illusion.
Yeah.
And he, by the way, literally, you can swing a cat in his house is back there. He's in the fancy section of Burr Ridge. I'm in the ghetto. You know? But he's just a great friend, and I had to literally convince him, kicking and screaming, to do a new record. Which now he thanks me at every interview. Have you had him on?
I had not. I had not had him on yet. No.
Oh, I gotta hook you two up.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, we'd love to talk to you. So I'll do that.
Yeah, I like the Proof of Heaven that you did with Dennis.
Oh yeah,
very good song. Incredible song. Yeah.
Well, that one I wrote in a graveyard in Italy. I was doing Frontiers.
Really?
Yeah, Frontiers Fest. It was before COVID in 2018. And there's something about gravestones that really inspire me, and they don't talk back, you know, which is nice. But no, there's something very serene and peaceful about a graveyard. And I said, this is proof of heaven, because I'm feeling these souls rising up. And I had I went back to my room, and I taped just a little fragment for Dennis. Proof of heaven in every stranger's mind. And I mean, it couldn't have been less, but started his whole album. And that song became the linchpin of him making 26 East, was that song.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
it was quite pivotal for him.
Got to talk a little bit about the Ides of March, of course. You know, Vehicle is one of those songs that lives on forever. And every time I hear it, I get excited because it brings back so many memories, man.
Yeah.
And you sing it just as good today as you did back then. You know?
Well, thank you. You know, that was one of those virginal things. You know, I was 18 years old, and I was trying to win back my girlfriend, and wrote the song because she was asking me for rides, but I wasn't getting any nookie, you know.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Can't get no nookie. No, let's write a song. But anyway, so yeah, and I was getting a little bit resentful, and I'm thinking, all I am to you is your vehicle, baby.
Yeah.
And ba-da, I heard this riff. Go back to the guys in Larry's basement who you met earlier, and just as soon as we heard the band do it in the basement, we know goosebumps.
Yeah.
Little Tommy from the neighborhood stopped by, and he's like, when Tommy gets apoplectic, you have a hit. He was just a neighborhood kid that loved the Ides, and he just said, guys, this is the #1 record. I go, yeah, maybe. and it was. And sooner or later, we're on the road with Led Zeppelin and Janis Joplin, Grateful Dead, on and on and on. And we got home on a break, and guess who starts calling me again? Yep. That girl.
Yeah.
This time, maybe we should try it again, Jim.
Of course.
Nothing succeeds like success. And I let her hang on that phone for a good long 3 seconds. I said, sure, let's do it. And like 49 years later, she's still my wife, and I'm still her vehicle.
Wow, that's incredible. What a story, man.
Yeah, well, it's a blessed story, and we have 2 kids now that are super, as you know, and you have 6 grandkids.
Five.
Oh, excuse me. Maybe there's one in the oven that you don't know about.
I think they took care of that.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
As a similar story like you, with their wife being in touch with them like many years ago in a song and related it. Mark Lindsay from Power of the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah. I think his wife was like a fan or something like that, and she was in the audience, and he ended up marrying her too.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. I love hearing stories.
Are they still married?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't talked to Mark in a while.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. He didn't die, did he?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No. Mark is still out there.
Okay, good.
He's doing Happy Together tour, with Phil and Eddie.
Yeah, and Buckingham. Well,
Buckingham's. Yeah.
A lot of times they're a part of that. Carl Giammarisi's a dear friend of mine, and
good guy.
Yeah, great guy. We do shows together, and we do this thing called Cornerstones of Rock.
I saw that.
Yeah. Ides of March, Crying Shames, Buckingham's New County 6, Shadows of Night. I'm missing a few, but it's just incredible. It sells out as soon as the tickets go.
Yeah.
People are so hungry for memories.
They are.
They are. Nostalgia, reliving those salad days, when they were teenagers. It's
radio was everything back in the 60s, man.
Oh, yeah.
Top 40. I mean, you had Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, R&B. You had it all on one station,
Lichtensteiner polka on the same dial.
Winchester Cathedral.
I know. I mean, it was really, Jack radio way before Jack,
Yeah. I was a top 40 guy back in the late 70s. So I missed being on the air in the 60s, but I did get the 70s, and that was a cool era. That was pretty good.
Yeah. How old are you, Ray?
62.
Okay.
62.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yep. Very cool.
Grew up in the 60s. Had loved it. This is a cool question. What's your favorite cover version of Vehicle?
Oh, okay. Well, hands down, Sammy Davis Jr.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Go on YouTube. I don't even know if it's available on a disc, but there's 2 epic YouTube videos. One is Tom Jones.
Tom Jones is good. That was a good version.
Rips it up. And, of course, him, Sammy Davis, who rips it up. But as far as recorded versions, I don't know. There's so many of them out there. There really are. I like a lot of the Mexican versions. Because that really gets the horns cooking. I'm vehicular, baby. Take you anywhere I want to go.
That's funny.
Yeah. But a lot of good ones. A lot of times it's been butchered in many different ways. But I'll tell you, who did a great version, who's a dear friend of mine, is Bo Bice.
both ways. Yeah.
Remember when that long-haired Jesus-looking guy went on American Idol? I remember I was in Nashville, and I'm going down the elevator, and Mike Borch, Ides of March drummer, calls me. Where are you? I said, I'm on an elevator. Go upstairs to your room. Turn on American Idol. There's this guy that looks like Jesus Christ, and he's singing the shit out of Vehicle. And I turn it on, and sure enough, there he is swinging his mane, and we're still dear friends. He's been on Bill's shows with me, and super, super guy.
It's a nice guy, Dave Bickler. I had him on the show. We talked about all the ads he's done, which he's done a lot of ads.
Oh my God.
Including those beer commercials.
The Real Men of Genius.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That paid a few bills. He's a great guy, and never have a harsh word to say about Dave, and hopefully vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's great, and his wife is tremendous. So good man.
I want to plug your book, of course. It's an autobiography, Through the Eye of the Tiger. Let's see. It was co-written with Lisa Torum and Ben Bella. Ben Bella Books.
Yeah, Ben Bella is the publisher.
Ben Bella Books.
Yep.
Very cool. And that came out in 2014.
Yes, it's a bestseller, and so is my Songwriting for Dummies is a bestseller too. So that's it. It's like third language publishing. It's
really
that keeps selling. For Dummies is such a kind of a negative way of saying, but it really just means
it works.
Simple techniques. Yeah. You don't have to be a rocket science to write a song. I really stress collaboration because, I can write a song on my own. I mean, Vehicle was self-penned, but there's so many times when a collaboration, brings different personalities together.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, heavy metal with Sammy would not have been the same. I couldn't have written it alone, you know. It's just a melding of personalities. Same with 38 Special.
That's right.
First time we sat down, they were like, it was a blind date, three-way blind date. We're sitting around my kitchen table, and finally someone broke the ice. My wife made nachos, and that helped. And and Don Barnes says, well, he was really shy at the time. I got a title. And I said, okay, what? He says, hold on loosely. I said, yeah, but don't let go. And suddenly I went back to dating my future wife and how I was getting, too close and too possessive. So I stored that idea away for a few minutes. And then Carlisi goes, well, I got a riff. And he goes... I said, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. And I started being the alchemist in the room, and you see it all around you, good loving gone bad. And usually it's too late when you realize what you had. My mind goes back to the girl I met long years ago, who told me just hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly to her, you're gonna lose her. You're gonna lose control. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's incredible.
Another
classic rock.
That is well. That one I find the ones that resonate the most have a good beat. You can dance to it, but it also has a little bit of wisdom in there, tucked in, not too obvious.
Yep.
But you got to watch it so it doesn't sound preachy. And the way we got around that, my mind goes back to the girl I met so long ago who told me, "Hold on, Lucy." So now it's not coming from the ego of the singer; it's coming through the girl.
Yeah.
And that makes it okay.
It's incredible. After all these years, your voice still sounds. Do you smoke?
No.
Yeah.
I knew better. While everybody was on the road partying with Led Zeppelin, I was in my room writing the next song and eating a bag of donuts.
I asked Dionne Warwick, I said, man, you still got your voice after all these years. I guess you don't smoke. She said, I've been smoking since I was 13 years old. I've never stopped.
Yeah.
Really?
Some people are bulletproof, and boy,
Exactly, man.
Dion's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I want to mention this guy because I had a lot of admiration for this band a long time ago, and you worked with him, Bill Chase.
Oh, jeez.
And I remember when he died in a plane crash. You know, it was like huge. You know, for back then, and it was a great band. Chase was a great group, man.
Well, you know that I still mourn the loss because we had so much more to do together. You know, the last show it's on YouTube. If you care to look at it, it's I was on a promotional tour for his third album called Pure Music.
Right.
And I was on stage at Faces, and I came up there, and we did "Run Back to Mama," you know, and the other one, "Love Is on the Way." And as I was leaving the stage, he said, "Watch out for Jim Peterik. He and I are going to be doing a lot together."
Yeah, yeah.
And I couldn't get on the plane 3 weeks later because I had a show.
Right.
And that saved my life. Another reason for calling my band Survivor. But he was a genius.
Yeah,
you know,
he was.
And my favorite Bill Chase story is he was a camper. He loved pitching a tent in the Canadian Rockies and just getting away from everything. And one day he woke up to a little bird singing this riff over and over. Just like that. And he had a tape recorder recorded and went back to sleep. That became the horn line to "Run Back to Mama."
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, he might have extrapolated a few notes, but that bird wrote that riff.
It's amazing. Amazing how you get ideas, you know, for something. I'm originally from the DC area, and Chase was big in DC.
Oh, yeah.
They're very, very big in DC.
Well, we played DC many times.
Yeah.
Carter Barron Amphitheater was our
Carter Barron.
And we played, one time we played with Five Stair Steps, Chairman of the Board, and B.B. King. This vehicle was like number one. Everybody thought we were black. So the curtain goes up, and there are these 7 cue balls on stage, and you hear this, this collective gasp. But by the third number, we had him in the palm of our hands and got along so well with the audience. And then we met the Stair Steps, who we convinced them. Yeah. Oh, man, what a song. You know who's playing drums on that Child?
Who's that?
You know?
Who's that?
Bernard Purdie.
Bernard Purdie, really?
Yeah. One of his first sessions. You hear those.
Is that right?
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, wow.
You hear those rolls, man. It's Bernard Purdie.
You know, you're gonna be playing in my old stomping grounds at Ram's Head in
Annapolis. Yeah.
I was a DJ in Annapolis at WNEV, which is now owned by Pat Sajak.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. But that's where I was a DJ in the Annapolis area, and I used to go to Ram's Head all the time. That's a good venue.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can't wait to get out of Dodge, and I'm going to Italy on Sunday, like I said, playing out there. But I want to hit the road, with the Ides. It's going to be really a lot of fun.
One band got you excited to play with, and that was the Beach Boys, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, yeah, and later on, of course, that dream.
You could be a Beach Boy.
Well, I'd like to be, but I was a big fan of all the Ides. We went to all their shows at the Erie Crown Theater, McCormick Place, and we actually got to open for them numerous times at various universities. And I got to know Brian and Carl and Al and Mike Love and the whole crazy bunch. And then I had the opportunity. We're sitting around eating shrimp in Chicago with Brian and myself and Larry Millis and Joe Thomas, and we're eating shrimp, and just really having a great time. And I said, nothing sounds as good as music when it used to come through the dashboard of my 1964 Valiant with the compression and no high end, and Brian goes through gulps of shrimp. Well, that's why God made the radio. And of course he didn't know how brilliant that was, but I wrote it down. And over the next 3 years we wrote That's Why God Made the Radio, which was a #1 record.
Yeah, very
That
cool.
was their last big hit, the Beach Boys. That was 2012.
You could be one of the youngest Beach Boys if you.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much.
Yeah, I had Mike on the show, and he sang a couple of tunes to me. He sang Kokomo and Good Vibrations.
Boy,
that's pretty cool.
I think he was kind of like the unsung hero in many ways.
Yeah,
lyrically, because Good Vibrations was about a dog.
Yeah.
Until he got a hold of that lyric and made it a lot more cosmic, you know.
Yeah.
And Mike doesn't always get the credit he deserves for lyrics.
Well, there was a little lawsuit going on back then when we were chatting. Yeah, he didn't talk about it too much. But I agree with you. Everybody comes down on Mike. I don't know why. He was the spokesman for the band.
Yeah.
Nobody else spoke up but Mike, you know?
Right. So, of course, he gets the shit end of the stick because he's... But no, you know, he has his fans and his detractors, you know?
Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Mike.
Yeah.
I like Mike.
Yep.
Another thing you do once in a while, you do the Moody Blues Cruise. Is that something in the future you might be doing again?
Yep, we are. We're doing the Rock and Romance tour this time in the fall of 2022. But it kind of cycles. You do Rock and Romance, then you do the Moody Blues. We did Moody Blues in 2017. Or 18. It was great. And I was sitting there with Mike Love and his son, and you get to meet everybody. You know, I just love it. Peter and Gordon, Peter Asher, and I got to talk and interact, and he's one of my heroes too.
He's cool. We've had him on the show too. I got to mention Pride of Lions, of course. What's going on with them?
Well, I did a Perry to do this Female Tigress album, but the next album is going to be Pride of Lions, and I'm already writing songs for Pride of Lions. That's like falling off a familiar log because I know what it is. I know the sound. It's got to be forceful, very male oriented. Where Tigress was definitely more gentler touch. But, I've always been inspired by great voices, whether it was Jimmy Jamison, obviously, Dave Bickler, Johnny Van Zant, with Skinnerd, and Toby Hitchcock, Dave Bickler, of course. But a great voice, especially in the tenor range. I can cover the mid-range to low, but I can't, I can't hit those stratospheric notes that those dudes can. So as a songwriter, it's like a free palette. I can write any melody, and damn it, they can hit it.
Yeah.
And the drama of a goosebump moment. The thing about Jameson is that you were never aware of a transition between his chest voice and his high voice.
Right.
A lot of with someone like Frankie Valli, you would go from chest voice to falsetto, and you knew, of course, when they would kick in.
Yeah.
Not so with Jimmy.
Yeah. Another loss, another big loss, Jimmy Jamison.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of him often, and I've been doing these interviews like I'm doing with you.
Yeah.
And his name always comes up. And to me,
that was a shocker. That was
one of the great voices. Yeah, 60 years old, really no warning. Yeah. And I wish I still had the last answer machine message that he left me. Because it was very special and very dear and very personal. But I don't think he had a clue that he was going to check out.
I had a scare recently. I was in the hospital off and on for 3 weeks recently.
Wow. What for?
I've never had an issue with my heart, and I had developed blood around my heart, and they had to drain it. Then I got fluid in my lungs, and it was kind of a close call.
Whoa. That's a wake-up call, huh?
It's a wake-up call. I don't smoke. I don't drink.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Well, we all have surprises,
Yeah, exactly.
And I know a lot of people that have had strokes recently.
I know.
And no warning, really. I mean, heart attacks, but I'm hearing more and more strokes, which is a little weird, but. And then there's COVID, which, I'm fully vaccinated, even the mini shot. Yeah.
Me too.
And you hear a lot of things, but I think to err on that side is my choice.
Me too. Yeah. I talked a friend, I can call him a friend, Bruce Sedano, Donna Summer's husband.
Yeah.
And, Donna passed away from lung cancer, and she really wasn't a smoker. And that was another shock. She passed away young too,
Was that genetic or something?
No.
We don't know.
And it's still, he's still shocked by it. He doesn't understand why. I mean, she was by the 911 site, and some people were claiming that had something to do with it. She picked up, but I don't know.
That's kind of far-fetched.
Yeah, it is. It's scary though,
Yeah.
When you hear things like that and people going left and right, it's,
Yeah, it sucks.
It does suck.
Really does. I gotta trail off. Is there anything else we didn't cover, Ray?
Love your house, by the way. Are you still in the same house that you on YouTube? Yeah.
Sure am.
You got the same piano that Elvis played on?
Yep.
Box tops?
Same one. Same one downstairs. Yeah.
People say that your house is a museum, man.
Yeah, I'm the biggest artifact.
Jim, here's a final question, if I can get it in.
Yeah.
I ask everybody. If you had a Field Your Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform or collaborate, we were mentioning collaborating, with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Oh, man. I guess present, and that would be Paul McCartney, Sir Paul.
Yep. Sir Paul.
I got to meet him at the 25th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper, and we were in the penthouse suite at Abbey Road.
Yep.
And I stood in queue, and I got to shake his hand, and I was very cheeky. I said, I'm a huge fan. I'm the guy that co-wrote "Eye of the Tiger," and he goes, "Oh, good one, that one."
You sound like him too.
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, now I can die." Same thing happened with Burt Bacharach, another one of my all-time heroes. Yeah. And I did a medley of my hits for a big production in Hollywood, and I did "Search Is Over" in the medley, and afterwards he said, "Search is over." What a song! What a song! Awesome. And when you have the accolades of your heroes, there's nothing better.
Exactly. Jim, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Good luck with the album. It's going to sell tons because it's a fantastic album, and I love it.
Thank you.
Hope to see you performing in Florida soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it sure could happen.
Yeah. I want to mention to everybody, Jim Peterik and World Stage, Tigress, Woman Who Rocked the World, releasing on November 5th. And it will be available on Amazon.com, and also Through the Eye of the Tiger, the Rock and Roll's Life of Survivor's founding member. Great book. It's out there now, and you can also get it at Amazon.com. And for more information about Jim Peterik, visit www.jimpeterik.com. You're on Facebook, Twitter, Ides of March, www.idesofmarch.com, official website, Facebook. Thank you for being on the show.
Well,
we all love you, man.
Well, thanks, Ray. Thank you for your knowledge and compassion for music. I mean, you're the real deal. So thank you.
I appreciate that. You're the real deal. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
Man.
All right. God bless.
You too. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.